Hello, welcome to this tropical update and more. So let's see what's happening because we have a very dangerous typhoon near Vietnam and also some stuff in the Atlantic to check. So stay tuned. We have Typhoon Kajiki just south of Hainan in China, and it will hit Vietnam in the coming hours and next few days. So it's now a relatively strong typhoon, 967 millibars, about a category 2, category 3, I would say. So the official track takes it towards central to northern Vietnam. Not so northern, but like central Vietnam and into Laos as well. So this will go into Vietnam and affect Laos very heavily as well. So please be careful. Those areas on the satellites, it's very impressive now. Show like there's a small eye forming and it's in the last 24, 48 hours, it's strengthened a lot and it's still gaining some strength. So there's already some heavy rain across portions of Vietnam and into Laos. So please stay safe in those areas. And then the eye wall spots the rain bands already here in Hainan, so there's already very strong damaging winds in Hainan. So please be careful. The GFS ensembles take it towards Vietnam, and then about the same strength, maybe slightly stronger than weakening at landfall. So please be careful. There's the Canadian, slightly weaker than the GFS. So here there's like, let's see for the Western Pacific. So there's Kajiki there near Vietnam it goes. And wait, this run is not working yet. So the 0 CGFS shows it there. It does show it strengthening slightly more and then makes landfall in Vietnam by tomorrow, Monday, and then into Laos and still some heavy rains left. Later, the GFS wants another system by the 31st already, the same area in Vietnam. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but please, we will just keep watching. And later, the GFS just got drunk and sent phantom things, so don't look at that. There's the European, shows like the 0C, there's Kajiki there. It goes, does strengthen slightly more and then weakens at landfall. This goes into Vietnam, Laos, and northern Thailand, some heavy rain. The low pressure might make it as far away as Myanmar, so please stay safe. And later, still want some lower pressures across the South China Sea by the 29th, but nothing like the GFS. The European does get assistance from the Central Pacific and comes kind of into the Western Pacific by September 8th, so that's very far. Let's not focus too much on that. There's the icon here, a similar strength there from Tajiki goes into Vietnam later. Later is not showing anything too important, but we'll keep watching because it does show some lower pressures south of Guam, in the South China Sea. So please be careful in those areas. There's already some very heavy rain and damaging winds. So please stay in a safe place. Be careful storm surge because spots central Vietnam, some coastal flooding and some coastal erosion, but some very high storm surge possible with some waves there in excess of 5 meters. So please stay safe and warn others. Some 7 meters further out to sea and 4 to 6 meters near the coast. And the storm surge itself might be even higher. So be careful, some coastal flooding. Please stay safe. And here's the radar, shows kind of an eye and a very impressive system. So please be careful. This, considering this is already too close to land, there might not be enough time to evacuate, but please follow official orders. Stay in a safe place. Please be careful with landslides, mudslides, and flash flooding, especially flooding can be very dangerous and damaging winds as well. So there's the wind gust from the European. It does show it's south of Hainan now. some very damaging gusts right there. And then Sunday, this does pass close to 168 km per gust or even higher spots of Hainan still. So Sunday, this goes and does strengthen a little bit more between Hainan and Vietnam. So Monday does start making landfall in a few cities there to 196 km per gust in a few spots, and even momentarily to 200, even like more than 200 km per gust, especially in those towns and cities there, central northern Vietnam. So please stay safe in those areas. Some damaging winds across Laos as well. Be careful, some wind damage in central Vietnam into Laos. And then Monday, this by Tuesday morning, still some damaging winds across Laos. Tuesday afternoon, the winds die down. So please stay safe in those areas, warn others. So here, let's see if the access works this far north. It doesn't. So please stay safe. And here, I won't show the GFS because it has the same strength as the European, but barely any wind gusts as the European, so not worth it. But please stay safe. And this model is not high resolution, it's just a global model, so the winds, the specific wind gusts might be stronger than what I showed you. So please consider that and stay safe. The rainfall is showing next 5 days to 279 millimeters, 357. There are a few mountainous areas with possible landslides, so please stay safe. And the coastal flooding, storm surge, and some 371 millimeters. In Hainan already to 200. So please stay safe across like Cambodia, as far south as southern Vietnam and Cambodia, spots in northern Cambodia and to Thailand. So please stay safe, especially central Vietnam, where this will make landfall. Is some spots more than 350. So stay safe, especially like this goes all the way to Myanmar, like central Myanmar is showing 200. So this will go as far west as Myanmar. In the coast of Myanmar, some dangerous rain, and in southern Thailand, Cambodia, as usual. So stay safe. Please be careful. There's the icon as well. It shows like 290 and a few spots to 400 the icon. So this is totally possible because some more high resolution models usually show more precise rain. So this is totally possible. Be careful. There's like the GFS showing some 300 millimeters, even spots like 386. So please stay safe. The European. So be careful with flooding, especially like river flooding is very dangerous. So stay away from rivers and be careful with urban flooding, landslides. So stay safe in those areas. Please warn others the damaging winds, the storm surge, and follow local officials. So in the Philippines, some heavy rain as well. For the next 5 days, a few spots western Philippines, central areas like northern Philippines as well. Some 128 millimeters. Spots in East Asia. Still those stronger fronts originating from central China, even to like 100 meters a few spots. This goes to North Korea, northern China, and spots in far eastern Russia. So stay safe in those areas. And actually 114 millimeters, even spots in northern Japan. Central Japan will have more rains as well. Central Japan, a few scattered storms, but nothing too crazy. So be aware, there's this blob of moisture, the central Indian Ocean, with a few showers of storms, the Maldives, Seabreeze Village. So be aware, nothing that important. But stay safe. Still in the Middle East, across Yemen, spots in Saudi Arabia, some strong storms. And there were some storms a few days ago on satellite there. So very impressive cloud tops. So stay safe. Those can be strong. And across India, of course. So shows you the accumulation like in the east coast, some heavy rain, spots in western India as well, more than 100 millimeters, spots central to western India, near Pakistan, southern Pakistan, but especially like northern India, a few spots in the north. So be careful near the Himalayas, some landslides possible in Nepal, Bangladesh, some some more storms as well. Just 1 minute. Wait, I'm doing something. Sei, tô fazendo vídeo. Sorry about that. I was just fixing something. So shows here still a few spots, central India, central to eastern India, the European, and I don't know why this keeps fading, like data not available, but this is happening a lot last few days. Now it's working so good. It shows like to 111 millimeters, a few spots 143. So stay safe in those areas, and of course across Myanmar and those areas. So please be careful. And there are a few storms like across southern China and Tibet. This is kind of weird because those are very high elevations. Might be a mix of snow too, but be careful. Does show the snowfall accumulation more across those areas in the high elevations of China, spots in India as well, in Nepal. So stay safe, spots of the ancient mountains, and also Mongolia. A little bit of snow in southern Russia, so be aware. And for northern Russia, still shows in Siberia, in those areas, some snow in a few spots. So stay safe. And across the west, a few fronts, western Russia, those storms still, and like spots in the Caucasus, storm or two. But yeah, stay safe those areas. So now, moving on, in the Atlantic, there's newly formed tropical storm Fernand, just south of Bermuda, and then it will head east of Bermuda. So don't worry about it too much, but it might bring some more rough surf a few areas and some rip currents in Bermuda. So be aware, but does show it passing way to the east of Bermuda. So here, there shows some wind probabilities, mainly not affecting Bermuda, but this will be close by, so just keep watching. And here, they showed this invest. Yesterday was just at 20%, so it went down to 20% yesterday. But now, let's see, during the past several hours, Charles thunderstorm associated with a tropical wave, okay, 450 miles east of the Windward Islands, had changed the Leeuwen organization. This is could become tropical depression during the next day or two, where it moves quickly westward about 20 to 25 miles per hour, and passing through the Windward Islands, Leeward Islands later today or tonight. Regardless of development, locally heavy rain, gusty winds are possible across the Windward and Leeward Islands today and Monday. The systems expect to reach the Central Caribbean on Tuesday, where conditions are expected to become less favorable for additional development. And an Air Force reconnaissance aircraft scheduled to investigate the system later today if necessary. So be aware in those areas, tropical depression is possible. There's some support here from the European model, and then some members do strengthen slightly more late in the Caribbean. But this central part of the Leeward Islands, please be careful with some heavy rainstorms. Still shows a small chance of a low pressure off the southeast coast later next week, and some rogue members further into the Atlantic later. But still, like after we get done with these systems, it will become slightly more unfavorable. So we might pick up again in mid-September or something. So we'll see, but the GFS even has some members of the southeast and a few ones in the southwestern Gulf, so better watch those areas as well. Here does show this is Invest 99L, so there's still some good convection with it, and this island here is Barbados, so you might have some strong storms near Barbados. Be aware, Saint Lucia, especially Martinique, Grenada, spots further south. And then shows like the models take this just mainly west, some southwest, but this is not expected to become much. But some models do show like the models are practically tropical storm strength now because the wind gusts. So the winds are practically tropical storm strength, but it's not a tropical storm yet because of the organization. It's not organized and there's some dry air. But this is totally new. I haven't seen this yet today. It's showing some tropical storm strength now, so stay tuned to some updates later. And then some three models take it to hurricane strength, but just three of them. So better watch this because you might do some sneaky stuff in the Caribbean, especially if it becomes a tropical storm. But the rainfall accumulation is not showing too much, showing like some spots of 48 millimeters, 59. This doesn't want to work again. 68 to 70 millimeters in a few aerosols. Those storms might be locally heavy with lightning and gusty winds. So, and even some flash flooding, especially if this strengthens. So be careful those areas and warn others. The icon is on the other side of things. The icons is even like 90 to 100 millimeters, a few spots like this doesn't work again, but shows some 92 to 100 millimeters, Southern Martinique, in a few spots there, some 89 millimeters, Guadeloupe, some 60. So this might cause some heavy rain. Stay safe. There's this high resolution model here, which I like a lot because they tend to show it very accurately. Then it does show to 105 millimeters, a few spots in Dominica, Guadeloupe to 71. It shows the heaviest passing right through here, and a few storms in Barbados as well, those areas. So be careful in those areas and stay safe. There's this one as well for the wind gust that shows some gusty winds with a few storms too, even like 50 to 70 km per gust a few spots, but nothing too crazy. And later does strengthen some in the ocean, but still quite unsure because the environment is not favorable, but this thing keeps trying, so we'll see what happens. So stay safe. And the tropical depression probabilities are quite high, even to 70% in the less Antilles. The Eastern Pacific are to 90, 100%, so we'll talk about that as well. And then there's, of course, in the Western Pacific, there's Tajiki, but there's some high tropical depression probabilities near in the Philippines as well. But still, after Tajiki, we'll see what happens because the models are not showing too much. But like this is Saturday the 30th, still shows some probabilities the South China Sea. So beware in the Atlantic, mainly the Eastern Pacific by August 30th. This goes and later by like September 4th, some slight probabilities the Atlantic again, just tropical depression probabilities. So we'll keep watching. There's tropical storm now, shows the Eastern Pacific to 70% of chance tropical storm, the Atlantic to 30%, a little bit, but still like a low chance, and then it totally decreases later in the Atlantic. So we'll keep watching, but be aware those areas. In the US, still some extreme heat in the west and some wildfire danger, so still be careful. Some dangerous heat across the west and some dry thunderstorms, a few spots. There's still a marginal risk of severe weather today, some wind and some hail as well, and the northeast as well, spots in the plains. So be careful. There's day two, just some scared storms. But the main thing here is some flash flooding possible. A slight risk on the East Coast, a slight risk in the plains, southern Utah, and spots of California as well. So be careful. Day two, more slight risk in the plains. Day three, New Mexico and Colorado. Day four and day five. So in this area, we'll get some heavy rain. Day 1 through 7 is going to 7 inches in Oklahoma and to Arkansas and Kansas next 7 days. So please be careful. There will be some flooding this part of the US throughout the next week. So stay safe. Be careful. Some flooding. There's the heat risk still extreme across the southwest and the northwest. Sunday, Monday in Washington, even higher. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then decreases after that. but please stay safe. Later does decrease some because of a crazy thing going to happen. So be aware, forecast the outlooks. So here, let's see this one. So it does show this blast of below average temperatures coming to central eastern US next few weeks. So this is because of an air mass coming all the way from Nunavut in northern Canada that will come into the US. This won't cause like cold because not the time of year yet, but some much below average temperatures. So we are watching that, but still the next 5 days, still some extreme heat spots in the west. So stay safe even to 100, more than 110, the southwest 108, 107, and also in central Canada, slightly warm as well. So be aware, Monday to Tuesday, still like Tuesday, even in the south, like southern US, some very hot temperatures. This in Fahrenheit, some 90s, a few areas, and also like in the Caribbean, Cuba, spots of the Yucatan Peninsula is still hot too. So be aware in those areas, and it does show like the accumulation shows some rain, spots of Canada too. So until the 29th, doesn't show much across the west, but does show some heavy precipitation in Alaska, mixed with some snow and some rain in eastern Canada too. So be aware in those areas. Northern Canada is already slightly cold, but this comes and there's like some lower pressures across the Hudson Bay and everything that bring those below average temperatures. There's still some mildly hot temperature spots in Western Canada, but these below average temperatures will come through the east. And also, northern Alaska is quite cold, some 20s Fahrenheit. So be aware. And mainly it. So talk about extreme heat. Also be careful because in Asia, again, in the Middle East and Africa, especially in Asia and Africa. So please stay safe. The mid 40s to high 40s that degrees Celsius in spots in Iraq, Saudi Arabia, to some 48 degrees even. And you know the deal in spots in Oman, United Arab Emirates. And so please stay safe. And also some high temperature advisories across eastern China, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, even into most of Iran into Pakistan. So stay safe in Afghanistan. So be aware, be careful. Those tropical cyclones and everything.